Bring up. Can we bring up Kalen Deboer really quick? Because I think that this is.
I feel disgusting putting him in there.
I'm surprised you put him there. I was gonna. I thought that we were gonna have a really contentious argument over him because I mean you were pretty critical of him when the hiring happened.
I never once said that he's not a good coach ever. Okay. I have never once come on this show or any platform and said he's a bad coach. What I've said is, and I came out here every week and said, hey, his defense is 107.
Right.
Okay, and you know what happened? For back-to-back years, I got TCU'd one year, and I got Washington the next. I've never said he's a bad coach, Joe.
That's fair. You're right. You've just been critical of if he's as good as I think everybody says he is because there's been a lack of balance overall in his rosters. I do think for anyone who wants to debate this, I think Kalen Deboer getting a team to a national title, to a college football playoff, and winning a conference is just a massive accomplishment and a recognition of how good of a coach he is. And because of, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, because we don't have Saban and we don't have Jim Harbaugh, the credentials necessary to be in the conversation are much lower than they typically are. It's much, much lower because instead we would be just figuring out who's 4 and 5 on these lists and who belongs at 4 and 5 and maybe even who just belongs at 5 because it's a foregone conclusion that Brian Kelly's number 3, whatever, besides the point. DeBoer has earned himself a spot on this list by earning that Alabama job. And I think that there's a lot of room for, if he continues to recruit as well as he is right now, to continue to move up.
Can I be honest with you?
Mm-hmm.
I think next year he's off this list.
See, this is why I don't agree with the way that you put your list together. I don't totally agree with the philosophy. I think you need to. I think you, in all seriousness, you shouldn't put somebody on that you don't think isn't going to be on here or be capable of moving up.
I don't think that that's fair to me because, again, Joe, what if I'm wrong? Then everything that this man has done so far, I'm just.
What's the point of doing a show and doing these lists? Is like we might be wrong. Right?
Oh, I said in the prequel of this that I just weigh in a list like this. I literally came out and started this segment saying it's our job to break everything down. Mm-hmm. But when you're talking about a list, I think that the requirements can change, at least for me. Now, I just think that he's going to have a little bit of a rough time starting in the SEC comparative to what being at that job will look like. Let me give an example. Joe, I think he can easily go 2 years and look exactly like Dan Lanning without some of the recruiting on both lines of scrimmage. And I think he's going to, like I've told you when he got hired, I really think he can consistently get you 10 wins. Fully believe that. The problem that I'll always have with him, is until I start seeing it. Yeah, they're recruiting fine at Alabama. You're not recruiting the way that you need to be on the run that they expect to be on, which is not going to buy him time at that place. More than any place in the country, he has the more target on his back right now than any coach. I promise you. Yeah. Joe, you legitimately had I'm serious about this. Joe, they legitimately the last 4 years were barking about Saban needing to retire because he went 11-2. So you really think that this man doesn't go 9-3, 10-2 in back-to-back years? I promise you they will show him the door. All right. Y'all don't know the Alabama the way that I know. I'm young. I'm old enough to remember everything that happened before Saban. Everything. And how, Joe, they would spend money and fire everybody in their sights.
Okay. That's fair, but I would just slightly counter if he accomplishes what Dan Lanning has accomplished in his first 2 years at Alabama, I would argue that's good enough for him to stick at 4.
Oh no.
Yeah, go 10-win seasons and go into an SEC championship game.
Because if he's losing even though he has a national title appearance, okay, there's going to be a coach like Dan Lanning for me that would go above him because he would win a national championship if that's what you believe.
He would need to go. DeBoer would need to go sub 9 wins for him to start moving down. BetOnline remains your top spot for all of your live betting action and contests. NFL, college football, UFC, NHL are all in full swing. BetOnline is your number one source for wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions with both desktop and mobile access at any time. Head to BetOnline today and use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for 50% off your first deposit. That is a 50% welcome bonus. BetOnline, where the game starts.